Hi there, everybody. So my name is Otilia. I am the Clubhouse Coordinator at View Society. And View Society is a nonprofit organization that supports people who live and struggle with a mental disability. So we basically provide different kinds of supports. Our organization also focuses a lot on something called the PSR model, psychosocial rehabilitation model. So which basically means that we're very much a strength-based approach, and that we believe in walking alongside of our clients, helping them in their recovery process. So that's a little bit about me. I've been working at View for probably going on to almost 7 years now. And this is kind of like a second career for me. And the first one being in insurance, and then going back to school later in my 40s and getting into something that I wanted to help people and that I could actually make a difference. And that kind of led me to where I am today. And as I was telling Michelle, the first thing that I have is a video that I wanted to share with you guys that 2 of our members have been working on. And basically the pandemic, much like every other organization, has kind of thinking outside of the box. So we decided that a lot of people weren't comfortable coming into the Clubhouse, and we wanted to do kind of like an introduction to the Clubhouse as, if you were coming in for the first time, what does that look like? And so when people come in for a tour, we walk them through the building, we introduce them to, the staff here and kind of what their roles are, what programs they're running. So this video that I'm going to show you is a collaboration with 2 of the members, and it's kind of like, you guys are the first people that have seen it, because literally it just came to me this morning, and it's going back for one more edit, and then it'll kind of go out to our Facebook page and to our website as well. So I'm gonna try to play it for you right now by sharing my screen. I'm gonna cross my fingers that it works, and then I'll come back. I've got a couple of slides. We'll do a little bit of history about View, and then maybe some Q&A at the end. So, okay, let's try this. And, okay. Okay, how about now?
We have a volunteer.
We did it.
At the moment, most of our volunteers are either helping out with our reception because we don't have the funding to pay for a receptionist, or they help out with the programming. Our board members are also volunteers. So they're a very important group of volunteers in that they govern the organization and are ultimately responsible for everything that we do. I feel like it's such a validation when you first come into a place and you first experience it, and there's like this wonder of, wow, like this is amazing.
I feel that we have a lot of credit in the community, and when you talk to the people that we serve, you can also, a lot of them will tell you that very thing, that without us they wouldn't be around today one way or another.
Our executive director and one of the founding ladies that helped found, obviously, View Society. I'll get into a little bit about Kay and her story. The video that I wanted to share about the staff, let's see if that one works now.
Give me a call. My information is on our monthly calendar. Hi, I'm Otilia. I'm the Clubhouse Coordinator here at View Society and also a mental health worker. I do several programs at View. I do virtual meditation, I do virtual book club, and one-on-one appointments, walks in the community. So if you ever feel the need to just have a touch-in and check in, feel free to call me. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and I'm a mental health worker here at the Clubhouse. I'm also a wellness recovery action plan facilitator, as well as I have a background in peer support work. And currently, I'm running the Healthy Living group as well as the adults group. And I hope to see you out soon at the Clubhouse.
Hi everyone, my name is Justin. I'm one of the mental health workers here at NewView. I work with the 30s and 40s group. I also do one-on-ones and appointments out in the community. I do a lot of virtual programs as well, like virtual trivia, which is on Thursdays at 1 o'clock. And I'm also one of the contact people for the WRAP program. WRAP stands for Wellness Recovery Action Plan. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to contact me.
Hi, welcome to NewView. My name is Christina, and I'm a mental health worker here. Some of the programs I lead include Meals in the Kitchen, book club, walking groups, and card groups. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach me at extension 205, and I can't wait to see you here at NewView.
Hi, I'm Diana, and I work part-time at NewView. I'm the 45-plus group facilitator, and I work as the volunteer coordinator.
Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm the Executive Director of New View Society.
Hi there. Welcome to the New View Clubhouse. My name is Chantal Berga. I am the Clubhouse Manager here. I do a lot of things behind the scene, overseeing a lot of the programs. I'm sure that you've had an opportunity to see some of the footage from the other staff who are running programs, and we hope that maybe some of them are of interest and that you come in and see us. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Hi, I'm Susan from View Society. I've been a member for almost 7 years. When I first came in, the staff are so welcoming. They have a lot of programs that go out in New View and places that you can volunteer and work at. I find it very helpful for me. I'm a socializer and get to meet new people with, disabilities such as mine. And it's a mental wellness place, a place of mental wellness. And I found in the last 7 years that I've been there that I have done so much growth, and I'm involved in the community as well. And it's just so welcoming. And once you come in, you will not regret it. There are so many avenues. There's sports, there's cards, there's, coffee house. And before COVID, it was just nonstop, go, go, go. Now we have virtual in place as well. And we will get back to a different situation that we were in before. And I love it.
Hi there, my name's Judy. I've been going to New for about 19 years now, and it's a great place to get yourself grounded again and get the support and encouragement that you need. There's a lot of good programs that are going on you can get involved in. There's outings sometimes, watering, camping, and there's also like food programs where you can have meals, dinner, sometimes lunch. And I really recommend anybody to go there. It's fantastic to make you feel like you belong again, and people are great. And I'm so thankful for everything.
All right, I'm back. Can you? So that was our little video that, like I said, the members put together, and we just thought it was, people who come to NewView have a lot of anxiety about walking through the door. So we figure if we can just give them some, idea of what their to what to expect when they come through the door. It might actually ease a lot of their anxieties about coming to Newview. And like I say, everybody, all the staff are super welcoming and excited to have anybody ever come through the door. So we're just super pleased about it. And so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do my little slideshow, and I don't need any sound, so don't have to worry about the sound here. All right, I'm going to go back up to the top here. So we have the Newview Clubhouse over here, which you can see. And so this is our new building that's probably less than 10 years old for sure, but we had a previous building in downtown Poco, and they did a lot of fundraising to get the new clubhouse built. And so we're super proud of this building. A lot of other clubhouses will come through it just so that they can have ideas for renovations. But I mean, Newview itself has probably been in the community for about 40 plus years now, because I remember coming to a 40th anniversary at some point in time. And so I'm just going to minimize this here. So Newview was established in August 1973 in response to the deinstitutionalization of patients coming from Riverview. Many of the previous Riverview patients were now living in the community, and they needed social, recreational, or work programs to assist them with the community integration. So Newview Society was formed to meet that need. So a lot of so when Riverview started to close down, a lot of people got displaced and they didn't have anywhere to go. So two women, Kay Soliwal, who you saw with our executive director, her and another woman basically just out of their car started helping people. And from there, it kind of started progressing, and then they were able to get a psychiatrist from Riverview Hospital to kind of come on board, and then they were able to get a house that they rented, and things kind of just started taking off from there. And so that's kind of how Newview was established, because these two women saw a need in the community and went to work to try to help people. So at the clubhouse, these are what our beliefs are: that all individuals have basic human needs which must be met, that individuals exist not alone, but as a member of a family and a community, so that influence and effects on all other members must be considered when meeting individual needs, that individuals affected by mental illness have the right to a full range of health services, both in hospital and community-based, and that providing supportive services in the community will help decrease the social isolation and the sense of loss that's often associated with mental illness. That emphasis should be on the strengths of the individual rather than the illness. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit because this is kind of how we see ourselves different from a lot of other health organizations, in the sense that a lot of the members that come here, and again, we call them members, not clients or patients or, other names that medical professions refer to when they come through the door. And we call them members because we want people to feel like they're coming into, a home, not another medical facility. So, and because again, we're focusing on that PSR model, which is a very much a strength-based approach. And so we do something what we call a recovery plan. And in that recovery plan, we kind of focus on goals. What do you want to work on? How can we help you? Is it employment? Okay, so what do we need to do to help you in that area? Is it, helping you with a resume? Is it helping you in job search? Is it job coaching? Is it integrating you back into the community, or do you want to just come make friends? And so we focus on the strengths. We're not focusing on what your illness is, right? Because we know that you're more than just what you've been diagnosed with. So going on to that, you got the growth is an individual process, and with the support, everyone is capable of improving their level of independence, and that our members should have the opportunity to be involved in residential, employment, educational, vocational, social, and recreational programs which enhance their individual growth and participation in the life of the community. Does anybody have any questions about any of that? So I'll just continue on. So the guarantees, the 4 guarantees of Clubhouse, and you'll often see this in a frame. It's the right place to come, the right to meaningful work, the right to meaningful relationships, then the right place to return. Our purpose, therefore, is creating an environment for growth and recovery for people challenged by mental illness by supporting the individual's choice to live, work, learn, and be part of their community, promoting recovery in a friendly, safe, and supportive environment for individuals affected by mental illness in the Tri-Cities. And so we say the Tri-Cities because other jurisdictions or cities like Surrey, they have a clubhouse. Burnaby has a clubhouse. Langley has a clubhouse. Abbotsford. So we're basically, New View Society basically provides supports for people in the Tri-Cities. That would include Port Coquitlam, Port Moody. So anybody in those areas can receive services through New View. There is a referral process, which I'll show you the referral process at the end of the slide, and we can go into a little bit about that referral process from there. So the purpose again is being a flexible and caring society dedicated to mental wellness, providing housing, employment, social and personal growth opportunities. And so with respect to the housing, we do have community living support workers and a housing manager that get their referrals from Tri-Cities Mental Health, and through the community living support workers, they get one-to-one individual service. And it could be that they're meeting the person at their home, they're meeting the person out in the community. So a little bit different from Clubhouse, because Clubhouse is focusing on the individuals coming inside to the Clubhouse, whereas the community living support workers are focusing their attention on the people that they have the referral from Tri-Cities. So it's a little bit of difference there. So I thought after that I would touch on some stats from the mental health perspective. This, I believe, is from CMHA, but basically they say, and I don't think it's changed much in the last few years, that 1 in 5 Canadians suffer from a mental illness each year, and that 70% of young adults living with mental health problems report that their symptoms actually started in childhood. 28% of people aged 20 to 29 experience a mental illness. By the age of 40, 50% will have or have had a mental illness. By 2020, depression will become the second leading cause, next to heart disease, of disability adjusted life years for all age groups and both sexes. I guess when they did this, they weren't counting COVID to be part of this. So maybe that would have changed a little bit on the wording, have they taken COVID into perspective, because I know at our organization, COVID definitely affected a lot of people's mental wellness, depression, anxiety, all of that kind of stuff did come to the forefront. So it was very important for our services to continue because so many of our members were struggling. Mental illness, mental disorders account for more of the global burden of disease than all cancers combined. And I remember there was a news story that I seen about 5 years ago. I was fairly new into, working at New View, and this one lady had 2 daughters. One of them had cancer, and the other one was suffering with a mental disorder. And basically, the mom said that out of the 2 daughters, her daughter who had cancer received all this tremendous support, where the daughter who was suffering with a mental illness could barely get supports in place. And at the end, the daughter was saying that she would have rather had cancer because she would have got more support than if she had actually had a mental disorder. So I found that really sad that somebody so young would actually say that. Another stat is 33% of hospital stays in Canada are due to a mental disorder. So basically, again, there was a need, we had to do something. And so we strive to support our members in all areas of life through housing, employment, social our supported housing, independent living, and rental assistance program. And quite recently, we were able to get a grant to have a housing tenant navigator. And so she's able to work individually with our members and look at housing more in-depthly than we have time for at the clubhouse. So basically, New View says, come live, laugh, and love life with us. There are many great ways to get involved with New View Society. You can make a donation, you could become a volunteer, you could become a society supporter, join our team, or get hired on for social enterprises. Welcome to our members' home, because again, we refer to New View as our members' home, and when people walk through the door, they often feel like they are coming home. You're not having a receptionist that's like at your doctor's office. It's definitely very holistic approach to mental health. So our clubhouse is designed to create a healthy environment where individuals recovering from mental illness can achieve the confidence and skills necessary to reach their personal goals. And then again, this was the link that we'd shared. And I'm not sure how clear this is coming for you. This is our clubhouse referral form. It's gone. We are in the process of kind of revamping this form and changing some of the wording on it. So oftentimes this form will get sent out to a GP, a psychiatrist, a case manager, and on this form, it much like any other form that you may see when you're filling forms out for yourself, you know, your name, your address, your phone number. One of the things that is a little bit different on this form, it will say what mental health issues impact your life, when should we contact your case manager, and that information is really important to have. Oftentimes, people may come up to one of our staff member and they could be having suicidal thoughts, and we need to be able to have a contact. In that case, we can call their case manager and say, you know what, we just spoke to John, he was having these thoughts, he doesn't currently have a plan in place, but we feel that you need to make that call out to him. And so that's why it's so important to have who can we contact. And then another thing on the form is, why would you like to attend the clubhouse? Are you wanting to attend the clubhouse for social rec? Are you wanting to attend the clubhouse for employment? So basically, when we get the referral, we would have a look at it, and if it's employment, we might pass it on to Donna, who is the employment specialist. If it's social rec, it may stay with me or Christina. If it has a young adult component, and at their age, it looks like it could be a young adult, we may pass that on to the young adult to make a reach out. So it gives us information where we're able to move forward in knowing in what direction we want to move forward in. It does need to come from either a case manager, a GP, or the psychiatrist. And then at the end, it has a signature for either yourself and then also your case manager. We have been accepting by phone signatures during the pandemic. However, that isn't the norm, and probably will go back to, not really, having it more so that it's in person signature. And I'm going to stop sharing the screen here. And I wanted to also show the calendar and a couple of different of the activities that we have. So I'm going to try pulling up our website through the share screen again and see if I'm successful. I'm going to turn off the volume though. Okay, so turn that off, and not that calendar. Okay, let's try that and see if I can get up. Okay, so can you guys see the menu right now?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
awesome.
I can.
Awesome. So right now, this is our website. And if you were to go on our website, it's fairly easy to navigate. Right now, it's trying to load our calendar. So every month, Justin, he does our calendar. And this is May's calendar. And on the next page here, it basically breaks down what is going on Clubhouse each day. So if I'm looking at today, we always start Fridays with a muffin morning, starts at 9 o'clock and it goes till 10. So during pandemic time, every program that we run is obviously by appointment. You have to actually sign up for it just because the numbers are limited. However, with the announcement on Tuesday and the gradual reopening, NewView is actually doing their own reopening, which is kind of like the same guideline as Dr. Henry. And so we'll be kind of following a 4-step process as well, where in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing A, B, C, and D. And then on the 15th, we actually, start, if everything is going good in the province and Dr. Henry is going to ease some of the restrictions, then we're going to ease some of the restrictions. So, but as of right now, we still have to make appointments for any program that you join. Friday, I do a walking group down in Port Coquitlam, near Hyde Creek, and then I come back really quickly and then I do a fireside hot chocolate. We have a I would say propane fire pit, and then we have a poker group. Sometimes it's poker, sometimes it's just cards, and then we do a community dinner, and then after the dinner there's a coffee house / games again that goes from 6 till 7, and again that's all through signing up. So that's a typical Friday. So Fridays are a little bit busier in the community. You can always go onto the website and have a look. If you're moving over to the right of the calendar, it talks a little bit about the social enterprises, resumes and interview, technology help, and who you can reach out to if you're needing help with your phone, your computer, or transferring files and storage. I even use Justin because, again, as you could tell from the beginning, I am not the most tech savvy, and pretty much any 3 or 5-year-old probably has better knowledge of the computer than I do. Okay, so some of the Clubhouse programs, let's see if it's under communication zone. No, okay. Updates and members events. So here are some of the events that have been happening during the month of May. We did a virtual day, which was last Friday, just because staffing was low. A lot of staff had taken the day off to make it an extended long weekend. So Justin and Christina and Andrea were on deck, and they basically did virtual games day, and they did Family Feud at 11 a.m. and at 1:30 they did Jeopardy. And I've heard from the members that it was really well attended and it was a lot of fun. However, one person did say that the questions were a little bit challenging. So you're always going to get one person that is going to find something a little bit more, challenging than others, but we try to accommodate everybody's needs. Oops. I'm not sure what I did there, but let's see. Okay, so I think I just clicked on the poster. This poster here, you might have heard Justin and Andrea talk about something called WRAP, which is Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And I myself have been a facilitator and have attended WRAP. One of the really good things about this program, we often refer to tools in a toolbox. So the more tools you can put into your toolbox, the better prepared you are in handling anything that may come up, with respect to your mental wellness. So, what does he say here? It's a tool for learning to take charge of your own health and your wellness daily. You'll be able to develop a list of concrete things that you can do every day to stay as well as possible, identifying your own simple and safe wellness tools. There is also a component where you can create a crisis plan and a post-crisis plan for yourself. And so what they've decided to do is, because the space was so limited inside Clubhouse, that they decided to run a program at Lions Park for WRAP. And they're going to be starting that looks like June 1st to the 17th. One of the things that I've always found really helpful with WRAP is you go through your plan, and it's fluid, right? So the plan can change as you change, or for example, like if you're doing really well and you want to just like, you know, add something to the plan, you can add it. And if your things aren't looking so well, then you can take it off. You know, like for a lot of our members, they may end up in the hospital, or they may end up in the psych ward. And there's certain people that they may not want to have come to the hospital. And in that plan, you would be able to, you know, indicate, I don't want this person there, or I don't want that person there. And so it's important that you're heard when that's happening, so that all these people just don't start to show up. And also, you know, to give that plan to somebody so that somebody is aware of what you want when things aren't looking, you know, so good for you at the moment. And one of the things that WRAP does is it focuses on what does it look like when things are starting to break down? What is, are you isolating? Are you, you know, having suicidal thoughts? Like, what can we look for when things are starting to break down for you? And then that will help us in getting them some supports. And another thing that has happened quite recently is we did a Save on Foods tour. Yeah, can we click on it? Oh, there it goes. So because May is generally mental health month, every week during the month of May, we kind of did a different focus. One of them was doing a virtual tour at Save on Foods. And then on that same week, we did a virtual cooking show. So I don't know if you guys know what like the Good Food Box is, or there's other organizations, and basically they give you a little box and it has all the ingredients with a recipe. And then you're able to create that recipe on your own. So we decided that we wanted to do something similar. So we create our own little package that we would send home to our members, and then they're able to sign on to the Zoom, like, or Teams in our case. You guys use Zoom, we use Teams, and then we're able to have the same kind of discussion, but I would put my camera on my cutting board, and so that they can see what I'm doing, how I'm cutting. I'm giving tips to them as I'm doing it, and they're able to follow along at home and ask me questions real time. And you know, they can ask me, why are you cutting the onion that way, or why are you doing it this way, right? And I'm able to answer them in real time, and then they get to eat this really great you know, recipe at the end, this really great meal. So we've done that, and that was part of our mental health. We did Walk a Mile for mental health recently. So just a whole bunch of different things that have come up. We did a Work BC interview as well. We had people from Work BC come in, and they talked about employment, how to get connected with Work BC. So those are some of the different things that we had going on at the Clubhouse. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And so if anybody has any questions, or if they have anything that I used to have a teacher at Douglas who would always say, questions, comments, or curiosities. So if there's any curiosities out there, I'm more than happy to answer the questions. Again, I apologize for the beginning, a little bit of a rough start, but we made it through, yay! That's the presentation for the most part. Like I said, we do get referrals from GPs. It is important to have that referral just so that we have a little bit of history of the people that are coming in, and kind of go from there. We kind of go through the referral, we make the call outs, we ask, you know, we invite you to come in and have that tour. If you're not comfortable coming in person, we now have that virtual tour, which is still a work in progress.
I actually have a question, Otilia.
Sure.
You mentioned there were other clubhouses throughout the Lower Mainland. Do you guys converse and are connected with each other? And would you be able to share those contacts?
I will be able to, I can send them to you, definitely. I don't have any here, but basically what the clubhouses, once a year, what we do is we do a day of learning with all of the other clubhouses. So we're all kind of like connected in that way. So we will meet in like a designated location. This year, actually, it was really bizarre because we ended up doing it virtually, and it was over the course of the month of March. And then everybody kind of got broken up into like different groups, but normally it happens at a hall, and every clubhouse brings like a dish for sharing. And then we just do like this day of learning. We get speakers that come in, and we get to like, you know, move around the room and meet all the other people in different clubhouses. But basically they all follow the same kind of format, in the sense that they'll have an employment person at the clubhouse that helps with resumes, that helps with job search. They'll have like we had suds in a bucket, where groups will go out and do like mow the lawns or do cleaning. So they'll have like that component to it. They also do like you know, a lot of the same things we're doing with the virtual stuff. Like we do a book club, but maybe they do something else, or maybe they're doing a field trip to a park or whatever. But the philosophy is the same. It's all still PSR focus, that psychosocial rehab, and focusing on the strength-based approach and walking alongside them and helping them in their journey, right? And just basically being that sounding board. So yeah, there are other ones in different communities. And like I say, Michelle, if you're interested, I can definitely pass those on.
I am definitely interested in that.
Also, and they all have cool names too. Like they have Stepping Stone is the one in Langley.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah, Echo is the one in Burnaby. They got, I think, Communitas. They're all over.
Okay. And I actually do have a question. I'm really interested in reading. Can anyone join your book clubs, or do you have to be a member?
Yeah. Well, you know, I actually haven't, I mean, most of the people that are on it are members, but I'm assuming that if you wanted to join and, you know, you take out a book out in your area or buy it online, I'd be happy to send you the link for joining. We just finished the book. So the book that we just finished was called The Help. I don't know if anybody knows The Help. Yeah. So we just finished it this Monday. We're actually going to watch the movie. So what I do is you know, on the laptop, I will rent the movie on Prime, and then I share screen. So we're all watching the movie at the same time. And sometimes I'm going to have a couple of members who want to come into the clubhouse, and we'll go down into the amenities room downstairs, and some of us will watch it downstairs. And the people who aren't comfortable coming out yet because of COVID, they'll watch it virtually. And then I'm picking up the next book, which is, I'm always trying to find books that there's a movie attached to it so that we can watch the movie at the end of the book. And it's called The Room. I don't know if anybody's...
I read that one too.
Yeah, so The Room is a little bit of a thriller. And then we've read Still Alice, which was really good. And the other two that we read didn't have books, but they were still good. One of them was a little bit slow for some of us, including me. And it was because there was, gosh, so many characters in the book. Like there was like, I don't want to say like 20 to 25 characters. So we ended up having to do a character breakdown so that everybody could follow who the characters were, right? And then we send out a reading guide so that people know, okay, you have to read chapters 10 to 15 for the next week. Because what I didn't know, or what I maybe didn't pay attention to, was that the library only rents us the books for 6 weeks. And so we only have 6 weeks in to read that book. And for some of our members, they can only actually, you know, 50 pages is a lot for them to do. So I was like about a week and a half overdue with this book. So I had, this time around with The Room, I have to condense it in the sense that I'm trying to coincide it with when it's due so that I don't get like, you know, blackballed at the library and they'll never rent me any more books. So, and then of course with the students coming, I'm definitely going to try to pass some of that off to the students so that they can take over the book club and they can do the virtual Q&A. So that's what we'll do. We'll give them the reading, and then we'll come back virtually on Mondays from 2:30 to 3:30, and then we kind of do a Q&A. I send out the questions on Friday so they have an idea of what the questions are and they can be prepared for what the discussion is going to look like. And we always kind of try to do a little bit of a check-in and say, you know, how was your weekend? You know, did you do anything exciting? We might do like an icebreaker type of a question sometimes, but I think I'm all tapped out with icebreakers at the moment unless somebody comes up with something more interesting. I got no more icebreakers, nothing. I got nothing. So yeah, I mean, COVID has definitely presented itself with a lot of challenges, but like we have tried to navigate around it as best as we can.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any like volunteer opportunities that some of our viewers might be interested in?
So volunteering is done through Diana as our volunteer coordinator. And during the pandemic, we actually haven't taken on a lot of volunteers, only because we were trying to limit the number of people in the building, right? Because it was like, you know, every room had like, you can only have 2 people in this room and you can only have, you know, 5 in this room. And then in the whole building was only, I don't even remember how many you were allowed in the whole building. But so we just decided, you know what, it's, you know, we're not going to take a space from a member by having a volunteer come in. If you are a member and you want to volunteer, we have something that's called the Therapeutic Volunteer Program. That goes through Donna, and basically she would try to find a volunteer placement, or you would find a volunteer placement, and then you would come in and say, I've got this volunteer placement, and then you're able to go on the Therapeutic Volunteer Program for 1 year. And if you volunteer up to 10 hours in that calendar month, you can earn an additional extra $100 on top of your PWD. So, and then if you only do 5 hours in the month, you get an additional $50. You know, added on. That's, I believe it's not taxed, like you don't get taxed on it. Okay. And you can only be on it for a year and then you come off of it for a year, right? But for volunteering, just like to come in and volunteer at Clubhouse. We used to have people that just would, like members that would just come in and, you know, they might do the dishes if there was dishes in the sink, or they might vacuum, or they might sweep the floor, or if there was weeds to be pulled, they might want to do something like that. That wouldn't be considered therapeutic volunteering where you could get the actual money. But it was more like, I look at it in the sense that this is their home, right? And so they're coming in here, they see that, oh, this needs to get done, or that needs to get done. And so they take the initiative in doing so, right? Much the same way as like when we go home to our house and we're like, oh, there's dishes in the sink, I guess I'm going to clean them. Or there's, you know, the floor needs to be swept, I'm going to sweep the floor, right? So because it's really their home, right? Like their second home.
Well, I would say doing dishes and things around the clubhouse would offer some therapeutic benefits as well. And
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
and
no,
it's also, yeah, and it's also just about, you know, getting out of the, you know, if you're feeling anxious and I know for me, when I get anxiety or when I'm feeling anxious, I go clean. I'm at home and I'm like, I need to keep myself busy. I'm going to go and like, you know, vacuum. I'm going to go scrub the bathroom, and in doing that, I'm, you know, getting out of my headspace at that moment. Right. One of the things that I often say to my clients, you know, when they are feeling anxieties, are, you know, just sit there and, you know, take that deep breath and just listen to the things that are outside. Like, what do you hear? Right? Do you hear the birds chirping? Do you hear traffic? And just by focusing on that one thing, it's taking you out of that moment where you're feeling all that anxiety. Some people do it through like just grounding, like, if you don't have any shoes on and you're at home, and can you feel the carpet? Can you feel the fibers? Can you feel what that's doing? And you're just, again, redirecting that focus.
Oh, that's great.
Some of your social enterprises are.
Sorry, Terry, what was that question?
What are some of your social enterprises? Right,
okay, so some of the things that we are doing right now is we have a contract where, like on the highway where people go and pick up, they adopt like a block or something, or they adopt a section of the highway, right? Yeah. So once a month we have, through supportive employment, we have one of the staff members go with 2 of our members, and then they go to that section of the highway and they'll, clean up that section of the highway. And in fact, last month, the member who went found $100.
Nice.
An actual $100 bill.
That's awesome.
And he's like, you're not going to believe it. And then we're all like, well, did you go around and see if there was any more? Like, sometimes where there's one, there's more, right? So he was super happy. And then of course they get paid for that work. And what else do we have going on with supportive employment? We used to have something that we did in Clubhouse where it was packaging. And we started getting priced out because the minimum wage was going up, you know, all these kinds of things were happening. And it was like, you know, we weren't making, or not we, and it just like we were ending up paying more than what we were getting in. And so it just didn't, you know, we didn't want to make money on it, but we also didn't want to lose money on it, right? Because at the end of the day, that's not what it was about, right? But a lot of people actually from there ended up going to work part-time. So we had somebody who ended up going to work at Costco and doing the samples. We have a personal shopper at Save on Foods, right? What it does, employment with mental health, is it gives you, when you're doing it, you know, in a safe environment like NewView or working with a job coach, it gives you the, I guess it's like the courage, maybe, I don't even know if that's the right word, but that you know that you can do it, or that, you know, when they're working for us, that they're able to do a 4-hour shift. And then they're like, you know what, I can do this. I can actually go out into the community and get a part-time job. And we're always saying, you know, start small, right? You know, maybe it's only 10 or 15 hours a week, and then, you know, set yourself up for success. Right? I mean, if you've been out of the workforce, you don't want to go to a 40-hour work week because that's not setting you up for success.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else?
My question was Michelle's to the volunteer opportunities, but that was a perfect answer. So
yeah, we used to have one girl, because we do the muffin mornings, right? And so we used to have somebody who'd come in the morning and help with the muffins and help, you know, making the muffins, and then they'd sit down with the members and just you know, have the conversation, you know, with the members and just kind of hang out. You know, yeah, we're always open to volunteers. Again, I don't know what Diana, we're just, like I said, we're having our 4-step program right now that Chantel, our manager, has kind of put out. So I don't know at what point in time we're going to start letting volunteers come back in. Just recently, I saw a practicum student from the community living support department. And I was like, I didn't even know we were taking practicum students. So I was like, wow, okay. So, and then the summer students, I mean, we didn't take any last summer. And so I'm excited to get them this summer, just because they come with so much energy, because they're young, they're students, you know, and they're coming with so much energy. It's nice to have.
Yeah.
New ideas.
New ideas. Yes. Fresh ideas too, right? I know that the 2 we have right now, they're currently university students. One actually wants to get in to be a special ed teacher in the school district. So I thought that, you know, too bad she didn't start today, because she could have sat in on this presentation and got a little bit of knowledge. You know, maybe I'll just play it back for them. I don't know. I'll see.
It is being recorded and is uploaded to YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah, true. See, the thing with me is I don't like to watch myself back, because then I start like picking it apart. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sounded terrible. Did I say that? Do you know what I mean? Like, you start picking it apart, right? So I'm like, I can't watch it. It's like, you know, actors, they never really go back to watch their movies because they probably pick it apart.
You could always start at the 15-minute mark when we got the sound on the movie working.
Yeah, I don't know if Michelle's going to edit it, but that would probably be smart for you to just start it at that 15-minute mark. Yeah, almost with any Zoom presentation, just start it at the 15-minute mark, because you know something's gonna go wrong the first 10 minutes for sure.
You did wonderfully.
Oh, thank you guys. Thanks.
And
yeah.
I think we all appreciated your knowledge. This society is very special to me as well. I learned about it quite a few years ago, and I just thought of you guys, and I'm really glad that you were able to share your society with us. And
yeah,
yeah, maybe.
Well, thank you for having me.